Yeah, so good evening, folks. This is the first and only show tonight of the Vintage Improv Festival. And you get to see yet another iteration of the Upside Down Players, coached by the inestimably fabulous Adam Cawley and his proteges, who will be stepping up in a moment and entertain you with lots of wonderful improv. So sit back or stand up as is your pleasure.
Hi, come on up, players. Oh, some of them are upside down. Look at that. As David mentioned, we're the Vintage Improv House team, the Upside Down Players, and our coach is Adam Cawley. And tonight we're going to be performing a long-form format called the Armando. I'm going to give our group a suggestion to inspire them, and then somebody's going to step up and do a monologue based on that suggestion, and then we're going to have several scenes based on the monologue. And then someone else will be inspired to do another monologue, and we'll have some more scenes, and we might even get to a third monologue tonight. So I am going to start you off with a suggestion, and your suggestion is tire, T-I-R-E, tire.
Tire just reminds me of all the fun stuff that happens when you own a car, because I have had flat tires. I have had literally a car catch on fire. It was my first car. I had graduated from college. I'd taken whatever money that so many lovely people had gifted me with after my graduation, and I bought a car from someone from my old neighborhood. And when I went to drive it back to where I actually lived, which is an hour and a half away, I got on the Garden State Parkway in New Jersey, and I got up one exit, and all of a sudden smoke started billowing out of the car. And I was terrified. And this is in the days before cell phones. It was the day I had to wait until somebody saw that there was an emergency for somebody to come and get me, and I had to have the car towed. And that was my first car. My second car, I bought it brand new, and my boyfriend, my new boyfriend at the time, came to pick me up in my apartment, and he rang the doorbell, and I came downstairs. He said, "Oh, I thought maybe you weren't here. You were standing me up because I didn't see your car outside." And I said, "Yeah, it's parked right in front of, where's my car?" It had been stolen. So we sent our second date in the police station, filing a police report. But I am happy to say that because of that incident, I had to go out, I had to run out and buy another car because I had to get to work. And the only thing I could get was a stick shift. And my new boyfriend taught me how to use the stick shift. And then we got married, and it's our 40th anniversary in a couple of weeks. Oh.
I am so thrilled that you are coming out with me again after that first fiasco date that we had.
Gave it a lot of thought, and I figured, what the hell?
I
Take
mean,
it classy.
you're game to give me a second chance?
Yeah, I like your eyes. And your cute little nose too. So I'm not that fussy, but I have certain standards, and you meet them, Maureen. You really do.
Oh, Claudia, I mean, I am just thrilled because most of the time the other gals that I've gone out with through the years, they never gave me a second chance after the first date where I
Get it out, sweetie. Get it out.
After the first date is
hold
always
on. I just want to get my notebook here. I'm just going to take it down. After what?
Okay, I'm going to make a confession. After the first date, you see, always on the first date, it's so hard for me to say this. You already know because I did the same thing to you. I called you by the gal before you's name.
Yeah, you called me Julia. I don't care. You know, I don't care about these things. I just kind of took care of Julia on my own. So we're all set. We can date.
I mean, Claudia, I will never call you Julia again. I don't think.
Yeah, you probably will.
Well, at least on this date.
Hey,
Try real
let's
hard.
just go out on a date and have a good time. You got money, right?
Oh yeah. I have money. I mean, I always bring a lot of money because if I mess up like I usually do on the first date, at least I have money to try to bribe them into staying with me on the second date.
Yeah, I think you should, because I forgot. I forgot to bring my cash tonight, and they don't let me have a credit card.
Julie, I mean, oh, Claudia.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to have to kill a lot of people in this relationship. I can tell you right now.
I have so much money that you are going to be tempted to stay with me forever.
You know me well already.
Yes.
Edit. Mom.
Yes, honey.
I know you're in love with the toaster, but we should have gotten rid of it a couple of years ago. It's not supposed to be billowing flames every time you use it to make your Pop-Tart. It's going to burn the house down.
I think it's kind of charming. It's like a little smokestack when it, it's like fills the house with a certain odor. It's like camping. I love it.
Mom, you took the battery out of the smoke detector because the smoke detector goes off every night when you make your Pop-Tart and in the morning when you make your toast. I mean, we're living in a time bomb here. You're going to
die. I did take out the battery, but then I just couldn't put it back in again. And I saw it hanging down. I thought, it doesn't matter. I don't need that battery. Like, I don't like that sound of that alarm. And it's, it really bothers me when I have the toast and the smoke is coming out. Like, it's just better to let the smoke come out.
I think maybe it's time. Maybe assisted living. It might be time for you now. Away from toasters.
I detect a look of fear on your face. I detect a little bit of anger even. I feel like you're trying to get rid of me. And this is my house. And this is where I stay.
It's paid off. Yeah,
I'm going to make you some toast. Hon, I'm going to make you some toast. I'm going over. Do you want sourdough or would you like whole wheat?
I would like to live till tomorrow.
Bagels? I'm going to get you a bagel right now and put it in the toaster. You get a bagel. Oh, there it goes.
I'm going to unplug this thing.
You unplugged my toaster. You just unplugged my toaster.
I'm saving you from yourself. And our fire extinguisher is empty because I use it all the time.
I never knew how to use that thing. No one showed me. I could probably use it to club someone over the head. That's what I thought I could use it for. Well, I'm just going to plug the toaster in and then we'll have some nice toast for us right now. Okay. Do you want raspberry jam or honey?
Wait, let me put out the fire first.
So exciting.
Edit. Holly, I have to tell you, we're here at Camp Woebegone. I mean, it's our first year here at camp, but somebody stole my brand new tennis racket that I brought to play doubles with you.
As long as we're playing, as long as we're together, it doesn't matter. We could just use our hands. We don't need equipment. We
No,
don't need
well,
that thing.
no, because this is a church camp, and you know what I've been doing? I've been praying that God will take whoever stole that tennis racket and shove it up there behind so that I know exactly who stole my tennis racket.
Denise,
And then I can judge them.
that's not a very Christian way. I don't think God shoves things up people. No, I don't.
I think that if that tennis racket, I can see it up there, if you know what I mean, then I will judge that person. I don't care about judge not to be not judged, because they're a stealer, a thief.
Yeah, well, God will revenge however he feels. I just don't think the whole image. It's kind of, you're kind of scaring me, Denise. I mean, we've never been away together, and now I'm detecting a lot of kind of violent tendencies in you.
Holly, that was brand new, and last year you whooped me so badly at this camp that I went out and bought a brand new racket to bring it here to play with you. Oh.
Edit. So when I lived in France with my first husband, he tried to teach me how to play tennis. It was a beautiful little town. There was this little, there was a pool. There were a couple little Catholic churches, which, I'm not religious, but there were. And I mean, he just said, "Oh, chérie, tu n'es pas douée." He said, "Don't even try." You're really, it's like, you can't play tennis. You're just terrible. So, okay, fine. But the thing was, that club for me, an American, was so cool, because there we were in kind of little Catholic wonderland, and there were women with no bras on, sunning themselves by the side of the pool, the piscine. And I thought that was just fantastic. I loved it. I mean, I'm from California, and we had those beaches, but it wasn't like this. This was like, oh my God. And then there was a little cafe, and they had steak frites, things like that. And I mean, the churches were just, people would go to church, and then the men would all go out and go to the bar. The bar was like right next to the church, including when we get married. I don't know. I love French. I love France a lot. It's a wonderful place, and it's a little strange too.
I don't see it.
The guidebook, it's supposed to be right there.
But it's not right there, Lucy. It is not right there.
Why would they take it away? Why would they take the Venus de Milo out of the museum? I don't.
Because her toga was slipping down, and it was inappropriate.
Listen,
You know what they did to David?
that's true. I realize that, but we've been planning this trip for so long, and the fact that we came out here and we're not even going to get to see the Venus de Milo is kind of. I'm disappointed.
I'm sorry that you're disappointed. I'll make it up to you somehow.
How could you possibly make it up? The Venus de Milo versus nothing. I mean,
well, I'll dress up as the Venus de Milo.
You mean you'll?
Yeah. Wait a minute. Just wear a few things. No, that doesn't work, does it? Oh, I hit somebody.
Oh, I think the museum guard is coming over here.
Yeah.
But this is really sweet. Maybe I feel like I'm putting too much pressure on you.
Uh-oh.
Ladies, I hear you speak English. The world famous Venus de Milo seems to be missing. Will you please open your purses so I can check them for the Venus de Milo?
Okay.
There's nothing in the purse you can see.
What do you see? You see nothing.
Madame,
Uh-huh.
Madame, you have 2 paintings, and you, Madame, you have 3 sculpture.
Hmm.
You need to put them back.
That's
There's-
all we have to do is put them back?
Put them back now.
Okay.
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 It happens every day.
These French are very blasé about this.
Thank you.
All right.
Wow, this is turning into
Yeah. We can just take stuff and then put it back when we're done with it.
maybe we could borrow it for a little while. Our hotel room is a little, I don't know, it's a little drab.
Yeah, well.
Look at this one with the lady who's smiling very sweetly. What do you think? What's it? The Mona Lisa.
Mona Lisa. She's
Would you-
boring.
You know, I know, but if you love me, you'll take her. You'll take her.
You want me to take the Mona Lisa? All right.
Edit. So, Mr. Lucifer, I am so happy that I made it to hell. I mean, it's like almost everything that I knew I would love. There's only a couple problems. It's a little hotter than I thought it would be.
You think it's hot here? You haven't been to Texas. What's the other problem, lady?
No, I never really thought I would like Texas. I thought maybe you would like to hear some of the things I did to make sure I got here instead of there.
Okay, I've got several minutes before I meet with the world leaders. Okay.
I just want to make sure that I stay here for all eternity.
No problem.
To make sure that you stay here for all eternity, I'm here from the second circle of hell, and I brought you some lightly charred s'mores, which I will put on the table for you.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
It's nice to have assistance.
So the first thing I did, wow. The first thing I did to ensure my passage into hell was I pulled my little brother's hair as hard as possible. I mean, I pulled a big old chunk out of his head.
That's good, but sure, that's all you did. What else? It must have been, you must have destroyed some civilizations or caused a great fire or done something, wasted your vote.
In high school, I didn't like the principal because he was always on my case.
So
I went in after hours and I set a fire in his trash can.
And he was on top of it at the time, right?
No, he'd already, he'd already gone home. But the third thing is the coup d'etat, or however you say that word, that the heightening of all the 3 bad things that I've done to get here.
Okay, this must be a good one, yes.
Oh, it's just a really good one.
I'm all pointy ears.
So when I was 35, I'm only 36 now. I died early. I went out with this dentist, this really, really, really good looking dentist. And I popped out my false teeth and showed them to him while we were eating dinner.
Are you sure you're in the right place? I mean, these are minor things. I hope we didn't waste a space on you. Surely you murdered someone.
I had all kind of thoughts throughout my whole life, my shortened life, that I wanted to, first I wanted to kill my little brother instead of just pulling his hair out.
And you did. Yes.
And second, I wanted to just beat the heck out of that principal so that all the kids in high school would love me because nobody liked him.
And you broke his legs, right?
And third, can't remember. Oh, yeah, the dentist. The dentist.
You took the drill on him.
Yeah, I took his drill home.
Home.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn on the TV. Maybe Judge Judy's on. This is boring me.
Edit. Speaking of pranks, when I was and France, by the way, when I was in 7th grade, we had a French teacher who most likely was very new on the job and was easily intimidated. 7th grade students can really smell that kind of stuff off adults. And she was our French teacher. And we did all sorts of things like pass notes around and tell jokes and do everything while she was trying to teach us French. Didn't learn much of it at all. She finally gave up and just gave us passages to memorize. That was all. Anyway, she was about to be observed, and we knew that, and she told us, and she was very anxious about it, and she was being observed by whoever was supervising her. And she wanted to have everything just right. And so we decided what we would do this time. She had all these French magazines for us, and she had marked the pages that she wanted to show open up to when her supervisor was there. But we changed those pages to, I think most of the boys did that, to the pages of women in bikinis and things not particularly appropriate. So that was a very embarrassing moment for her. The other thing we did to Sister Mercedes was at Christmas time, a group of us girls decided that we had to wear uniforms and slips then. And we decided that we would sew jingle bells on our slips. And we would deny that we were wearing them at all. And we would walk by her and she would say, "Ma foi, I hear bells." And we'd say, "No, sister, nobody's wearing bells." And so she had to actually take the afternoon off, and we had a substitute because I think she realized she had just totally lost it. Thanks.
You can come into my office now. Yes, I'm glad you came here for the job interview for one of our bank tellers, but could you come a little closer? No, closer. No, closer. A big part of my interview process here at First National is I can smell if someone is good for this job. I'm not getting.
Wow. So I must smell really good, right? I bet I smell like Chanel, which is what I'm wearing, which shows I have good taste.
It's not a bad odor. I just don't smell competence on you.
Try this side.
I'm smelling that you're not very good at math, which would not work well at First National. We need somebody who can reconcile our books. We need somebody who can give out the right change, give out the right things from deposit slips. We need someone, obviously, who has a head for numbers. And I'm not getting that from you.
Come closer. Come closer. I need to smell you now just to, Oh, wow. I smell someone who is very sexy. Really? Very sexy. Yeah. Oh, boy. Yeah. Wait, come closer. Come closer. Oh, I smell somebody who has a great great ability to cook French food.
You can tell that just by smelling me.
Yeah. One more time, other ear, one more time. I can smell somebody who is a genius at investing. Genius.
Wow, your smell detector is even stronger than mine. You got everything right. I'm gonna do my job. You should have my job.
I would be very good at your job.
Dean!
Come on up, everyone. We are the Upside Down Players, and individually we are
Carol from Milford, Pennsylvania.
I'm Sandy, and I am in Mazatlan, Mexico.
Joan from outside Boston.
Hillary from Cambridge, Massachusetts.
And I'm Lauren from Dallas, Texas. Thank you for joining us, and we are here every Sunday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and it's a different combination of our group. Good night.
Night.
Thank you, Upside Down, for another jam-packed, whatever else sort of stuff was going on in there. Like that smell-o-vision thing really kind of came through to me. So thank you all. This is our last show for this evening. We're back next Sunday for a complete slate of shows, and I trust you'll be joining us then. Thank you. Drive safely, or don't hurt yourself getting off the couch. Good night.